Hey Merfolk fans, I'm Joe. Thanks very much for joining me. I am going to go ahead and join a friendly modern 5-match league. The prize payout in this kind of a league is 20 play points for 1 match win, 40 play points for 2 match wins, 80 play points, which is the buy-in, and 1 treasure chest for 3 match wins, 80 play points and 4 treasure chests for 4 match wins, and for 5 match wins you get the 80 play points and 8 treasure chests. So let's go ahead and join the league. Gonna say submit, and then we'll play with play points. And usually it takes anywhere from 15 seconds to 60 seconds to find an opponent. You can see there are 662 people participating in this league. So right now they're trying to find somebody who's also just getting started, who has a 0-0 record, to pair me up against, so that it's a fair match. See, that was pretty quick. I'll go ahead and click join match. And where is my match? Okay, so I won the die roll. Let me adjust my chat a little bit. I like this to be as slim as possible. Alright, I'm going to say I would like to play first. And unfortunately, in the first game, we're going to have to mulligan. This would be beautiful if one of these AEther Vials was a land. We're going to mulligan. And this is sketchy, but we're going to keep it and scry. That I will definitely keep on the top, makes it a little less sketchy. And I'll go ahead and open with Island and Cursecatcher. So far in these leagues, I've been going back and forth between... Okay, so sorry, let's focus on the game for a moment. Probably Living End. So I'm going back and forth between like great results, like 4-1, and not so great results, 2-3, 1-4, 3-2. You know, I've done pretty much everything at this point. Just haven't gotten a 5-0. I've had I went 4-0 a couple matches ago, a couple of leagues ago, and I unfortunately got paired against elves in my 5th match, so I lost that one. Still haven't gone 5-0. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe this is Death Shadow aggro, hitting that life total really hard. In which case, having this Vapor Snag is really great, having this Harbinger is really great. So yeah, I think that's what we're dealing with here. This kind of poses an interesting question as to what we should do this turn. Do we leave up Vapor Snag, or not? I think it's still time just to play out the Lord, actually attack into the Wild Negate, get in a couple points of damage. We're probably just helping the opponent, getting his life total lower, but that's our strategy as well. So if he wants to trade this cat for the Cursecatcher, that's fine with me. He could have mutagenic growthed it, in which case I might have... Well, the Cursecatcher would have died, but I wouldn't be too unhappy to trade a Cursecatcher for mutagenic growth, to be honest, in this matchup. So the opponent did keep their opening 7, so presumably they have the tools to put together a game plan. No black mana yet, so no Death Shadow yet. It's good for us. Okay, we're going to bolt the Lord. Okay, that's fine. Have a Cursecatcher up to counter other stuff. Swift Spear is also fine. 4 damage in 1 turn from this hyper aggro deck. Not the scariest thing in the world. Okay, so he's playing Mishra's Bauble. So we're looking at 5 damage this turn. Gonna go ahead and look at his top deck. This will let him draw a card on my upkeep. It's basically just cycling the Mishra's Bauble for 1 extra damage. We can't counter it because Cursecatcher doesn't do anything about artifacts. Gonna take 5 here, but then we can bounce the Wild Negate on our turn. Keep chipping in for a little bit of damage. And you know, just hope to draw as well as we can. Another Island Walk Lord is decent, but I think the tempo game is where it's at right now. So we'll cast the Harbinger, bounce the Wild Negate since that guy has Summoning Sickness. We are going to use his ability, and we'll go ahead and attack with our Cursecatcher again. Opponent's going to go from 11 down to 10 and pass the turn back to them. Okay, so there's some green mana. Opponent goes down to 8. Might see Death Shadow here. Thoughtseize. Okay. What's he going to take from our hand? Probably Vapor Snag, I have to imagine, because they're really all in on their attacks. Happy to see Thoughtseize rather than Death Shadow. It's certainly less of a threat. Thoughtseize, oh, so he took the Master. That's interesting. Not going to block this 2 points. He might have some buffs for it. Maybe a mutagenic growth, but I just go down to 13. Opponent, maybe the Wildling Cattle again. Okay, so Spreading Seas is interesting. Currently we can't attack, and just leaving up mana for Vapor Snag that the opponent knows about doesn't seem optimal. I think I'm going to hit his black mana. He has double red, so no matter what he's going to have access to Temur Battle Rage, but we're not currently within striking distance with Temur Battle Rage anyway. So let's hit that black mana, hopefully draw into another blue source. Cursecatcher, not exactly a blue source, and unfortunately we can't play out anything else this turn, and we can't really profitably attack. If I swing, he's going to eat my Harbinger. He'll take 1 from Cursecatcher, and then I'm just really on the back foot. So next turn, if no land, we have Cursecatcher and Vapor Snag. Not terrible. We're still at 13 life. Typically, we would have already lost by now in this matchup in Game 1. Tidebinder helps a lot in Game 2. Post Sideboard. I leave in all my bounce effects. Spreading Seas on the play is actually really excellent against these multicolor decks, because if you get a heavy Spreading Seas opening hand, you can keep them off their, you can totally wreck their game plan basically. So if he grows this guy and then double strikes, I mean, we have a Cursecatcher. I can't trade any of my resources at this point, I don't think. Okay, just took 3. Opponent's content just to chip away. Goes down to 5. It's bold. If I draw a Lord off the top, we have Island Walk. Gonna get Thoughtseized again here. This deck treads a very fine line between low and too low with its life total. So here's Death Shadow. Island's not exactly what I was hoping to draw. I think I might play the Cursecatcher, Vapor Snag the Death Shadow, and attack. It's possible he has Blossoming Defense in hand. Probably better to get that out of his hand this turn rather than leave it in his hand for next turn. So I'm going to start by casting the Cursecatcher. Opponent knows fully well that I have the Vapor Snag in hand, so we're going to go for it. If we have to leave back blockers, we'll do so. Okay, well, that guy's back in his hand. This is so close because we still have 8 Island Walk Lords. I'm sorry, no we don't. We have 6 Island Walk Lords left in the deck. Another Vapor Snag gets really close to closing things out. I think I'm going to assume that he has something that can make his Monastery Swiftspear larger, but if he uses it this turn, he doesn't have it next turn. I'm going to have at least one blocker up with Cursecatcher. Maybe I just attack with the Harbinger and make him use one of his pump spells now if he has it. Leave the Cursecatchers up for next turn as blockers and attackers later. Alright, so that went well for us. We've got these 2 guys. There's no Death Shadow on the board, just this little Wildling Cattle. who we may have to think about chumping here if he goes nuts, because... Okay, let's just see what happens here. Here's Death Shadow. I find that we're typically not favorites in Game 1 against this deck, but Game 2, it gets a lot better. All right, let's see what the opponent's doing here. Gitaxian Probe, he gets to see what he already knows about. I guess he's just cycling. We need to be very careful with this Death Shadow here. Okay, so we're in a good spot when they choose to stay back on defense. An island is okay here. I think I'm going to play it and then play the Master of Waves and then go to attacks. See how the opponent wants to respond. Master of Waves is great because he gives us like a bulk of toughness that we can throw at like a Team or Battle Rage Death Shadow. So if I attack now, I'm getting in 1 point of damage if he blocks and blocks, but I can't force lethal here. So, but I can next turn if everything goes well, so I might as well just pass back to the opponent here. Okay. So the opponent's cycling that Gitaxian Probe. Okay, so he got another one. He does. He's just cycling that. He gets to use the blue mana for that, which is actually helping them out right now. Otherwise, they would be stuck not being able to cast that. If they have a Mutagenic Growth, they can't cast it right now. I feel really great having these Cursecatchers on board. Okay, well that's really bold because now it makes Vapor Snag a win condition. Did it just to make this guy bigger. If he goes all out on attacks, we're pretty much going to group block like crazy and hope to survive through a Team or Battle Rage. We can sack the Cursecatchers. They get into a position like this where they're backed against the wall and they have to throw everything at us all at once. So we have a 12-12 here. We have to think quickly about what that might end up looking like. He currently can hard cast Mutagenic Growth, and then Team or Battle Rage, we'd be looking at a 14, double strike trample. So Mutagenic Growth on this would make it exactly lethal with Team or Battle Rage. But if he taps out for those things, we do have the two Cursecatchers. So we just have to leave one attacker, basically, I think. So let's start. I'm going to throw all of these elementals. Oh, sorry, I have to hit F2 to go to blocks. Throw all of these guys up here. Gonna throw Harbinger and now Team or Battle Rage alone we can counter. That's great. We can counter it with a Cursecatcher. So I think I'll just leave it like this now. I'm gonna say okay. We still got 3 attackers left. Unless I've miscalculated, he only has 3 mana open. He's at 1 life, can't use Phyrexian mana anymore, and I've got 2 Cursecatchers up to counter anything he tries to pull. Just overly cautious with the Harbinger block here. What's happening here? Team or Battle Rage, we're going to counter this. He's going to pay it, and we're going to counter it after he pays it. Cursecatcher is really showing their value. For anybody who talks smack about Cursecatcher not really pulling his weight in this deck, you need to think twice. This guy does a lot of work in a lot of different matchups. I think the opponent is realizing what I realized a moment ago, that I think we've got him covered with these Cursecatchers. I can sack the other one and then have an attacker left, actually with pro-red, even if he has a Swift Spear or something to put down. He probably would have put this Whisper out, though, first main. So if we get to take game one, I feel pretty good about our prospects of winning this match. All right, so very good, guys. We got there in game one. Let's go ahead and talk about our sideboarding strategy. So they don't target us. They target their own creatures. They did bolt our Lord, but that's fine. Like sort of one-for-one garbage like that, I don't really mind. So Kira can comfortably come out. Tidebinders, 3, we definitely want them. He's got Wild Nicaddles and Swift Spears, and those guys get handled really well by Tidebinder. Certainly 2 Dispels. One of the most important cards in this matchup, in games 2 and 3 especially, is AEther Vial, because we have so many creatures like post-board, 4 Harbingers and 3 Tidebinder Mages that can interact with their attacks at instant speed with AEther Vial. So it's great to be able to have an AEther Vial or 2, and then just sort of sit back, leave up mana for Vapor Snag and Dispel and Echoing Truth, and see what they do, and then respond at instant speed with AEther Vial. So we really want to see an AEther Vial in our opening hand. We're going to keep the bounce spells in. Being on the draw, we can take out, potentially take out a Spreading Seas or 2. Master of Waves is a little slow on the draw against these guys, so I'll take out 1 Master of Waves, 1 Reejerey. We can lower the curve a little bit. I like all my creatures on this side of things. I think maybe just continue lowering the curve. Spreading Seas is a little bit clunky, but I don't think this deck runs a lot of lands, and we need to have access to Island Walk. Well, this is not the most important matchup to have Island Walk, since they're typically turning all their guys sideways. So maybe we can cut 1 Spreading Seas and 1 more Master of Waves. We might not have enough time to build up to Master of Waves mana anyway. So we took out a Reejerey, a Kira, 2 Master of Waves, and 1 Spreading Seas. That's 5 out. 2 Dispels and 3 Tidebinders in. I feel like that's a nice upgrade in the matchup. I think I mulliganed this past game, and I'm just sort of crossing my fingers here. Let's hope we get a better hand this time. Sorry about that hissing in the background. It's getting cold in New York, and my building's heat is all these old radiators. I said I liked AEther Vial, but I don't like it enough to keep this hand, I don't think. Not enough. We have a lot of interaction. I can mulligan this. This is better. A little awkward, don't have double blue for Harbinger. We'll go ahead and keep this and scry. AEther Vial is sweet, so we will keep that on top. Opponent cycling Street Wraith, already down to 18. Taxian Probe down to 16. Opponent gets that information. So we know he knows basically everything we're working with here. I can put a land on this side of my hand to keep the unknown cards separate from the known cards as they enter my hand. Wow, they just hit their life total so hard. Thoughtseize, I don't even know. I guess he takes Harbinger? Silvergill? Alright, Harbinger. Take away the interaction. Alright, I'm still sitting at 20. Not sad about that. We get to play our... Now, he might Thoughtseize me again. We're definitely going to play Silvergill Adept if we can next turn. If we can't, however, we're going to want to attack with Mutavault. So this is one of those rare instances where we do want to open with Mutavault. Pass the turn back to the opponent. Down to 9 with a Sacred Foundry, Swift Spear, and we have no blocks. See what he's got up his sleeve. Nothing, so we're down to 19, and he's going to follow up with a Death Shadow as a 4/4, I believe. Alright, pretty big boy. I'm going to always yield to this, and then say yes. that's a good draw. We can... I wish MTGO was smarter about which creatures I wanted to name. Like after playing 1,000 games and going to Merfolk, you feel like it would just like auto-highlight it for me. Merfolk it is. We're going to cast our Silvergill with the additional cost of revealing the Reejerey that he knows about already. Okay, gotta click this for some reason, and then reveal the Reejerey. Hopefully draw like a Vapor Snag. Actually, because the blue sources or Harbinger is better. Mutavault, neither of those things. What is the opponent working with? We're still at 19, doing decently well. Inquisition of Kozilek. Opponent can take away what he wants to take away. I'd assume he's probably going to take away the Island Walk Lord. But Reejerey is kind of a combo, I guess, with Harbinger. Don't really have any Harbingers in hand, though. Took the Reejerey. Interesting. Doesn't have mana for double strike or anything. I'm fine taking 6 here. We can top deck a Harbinger and bounce his Death Shadow. Steplings. Unconventional tech, I think. Let's hope we don't draw a fourth Mutavault here. We do want to use AEther Vial. Island Walk Lord is okay. Not the best in the world. Opponent's down to 1 card, which makes me pretty happy, actually. I think we've got a race here. Knows about this, doesn't know about this. Next turn, I'm going to have a ton of power. I'm going to have another Lord buffing both Mutavaults who will be able to attack. So potentially 11 with these guys alone next turn. Actually, no, sorry, 14 if we count this Lord. It's 4, it's 12 plus 3, 15? Yeah, 4, 4, 4 is 12 plus 3 is 15. It's a lot of damage. He's almost certainly turning his guys sideways. We're going to have to block something. And he likes having a low life total in general. So I think here I'm just going to attack with Silvergill Adept. And we'll see how that goes. He doesn't know we have this Island Walk Lord, which works to our favor. Alright, opponent down to 6. Death Shadow gets bigger. If he just goes straight to combat here, I think I'm going to chump with a Mutavault on the Death Shadow. Opponent doesn't have a lot to work with. This Steplinks has landfall, and opponent hasn't really been playing his lands, I don't think. So gets +2/+2. Okay, so straight to combat here. Let's see who he attacks with. Alright, 2 guys. Let's see, Mutagenic Growth plus Temur Battle Rage. Let's see what that would do. It would make him a 9/9. No, sorry, he'll pay life. So he'll already be a 9/9. He'll be an 11/11. 11/11 double strike trample. So if I block with a 3/3 Mutavault, I'm taking 8 in first strike. And then let's see, 9, 11, block, take 8, and then another 11. That's going to be hard to stop if he has it. Those have to be the exact 2 cards in his hand. Not much to think about, I think. I have to activate Mutavault and block. Question is whether I want to block with both of my guys here on the Death Shadow. I'm not particularly concerned with the Monastery Swiftspear. He can't get that big with 2 cards in hand. So I'm going to have 2 attackers as 3/3s next turn. I think maybe I'll just block. If he just has the Battle Rage, right, then it's 7/7 double strike. So I'm going to take 4 plus 7, which is 11, which I get to live through. So again, he needs a very specific combination of cards to kill me. And, sorry, I'm going to go to blocks. Just like this. If he has mutagenic growth and battle rage, that's pretty incredible. Alright, so he didn't really have anything. Wild and cattle, I'm going to have 3 attackers. Well, he's at 6, so... play an island. I'll play a Mutavault. Let's see. He didn't have some sick combo last turn. I don't think he's going to have it the following turn either. But I feel like attacking, though, without doing lethal is just playing into his plan. We could force him to chump with step links, which is decent, and then we have to block and... I don't think I can just sit back here. I don't really like how that works. I'm going to activate Mutavault. And we'll go to attacks and see what kind of blocks he makes. Oh, he just scooped it up. That's really weird. I guess he might have garbage in his hand. Don't know what it could be, since if it was a creature, he would have played it. If it was a pump spell, he would have played it. So he didn't know about this Lord, but if I swung out with everything, he could have blocked and blocked. Am I missing something? These guys can both block. He blocks a Silvergill, and I bring in a Lord. These guys trade. He chumps here, maybe takes 2. If he blocks the Lord, getting greedy to try to kill it, that would still trade with the Wild and Cattle with me vialing this Lord. Blocks one of these 2 to prevent a lot of damage. He would take 4 from Mutavault, still be alive, swinging with an 11/11 Death Shadow. And if he drew into Battle Rage, that would have been lethal. I would have only had 1 blocker. So not exactly sure why the opponent scooped. It's possible I might be missing something. Let me know your guys' thoughts. But that was the first match of this 5-round Modern Friendly League. And we're 1-0, so a good start. Please tune in for the next match. Subscribe if you haven't already. I always appreciate that, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks a lot.